body turns and my hand extends, and the power or the pop of the shot comes at the point when I roll here at my shoulder. It's this motion here that you'll feel in your bicep. Okay? So when you throw this, you're coming straight off of your shoulder, letting it drop just like you would throw your flat snap. You can still throw your flat snap at that leg, right? But you get to here, and now you're pulling at your shoulder. The strength comes in here, turning your arm this way.
So you're hitting it with the weak side?
Yes.
You're hitting with the false edge is what you're doing. If you think about, with your thumb here, if you think about pointing your thumb at your target, right? If I point my thumb, you're not actually going to fight like that, right? But that's the motion that you're going to make. Right?
Okay. Now, as far as the shoulder mechanic goes, there are two parts to this. As far as your arm, you're extending out and rolling at the shoulder. So those are the two basic motions. That what I want to try and do is get it to turn over right at the moment when I'm getting to the full extension, so that all those motions blend together.
So what happens is, a lot of times when you see more experienced fighters throw wraps, it looks like, because it goes so fast and you see them hit with the back edge, it looks like they're swinging their arm around like this. That's what you're going to think they're doing. All you do if you do that, if you think about it, you're taking all this force. I want to take all this force in my hand. I want to put it on my target. If I throw it out here and then try and redirect it around here, one, super efficient. Two, you're going to jack your shoulder, your elbow, and your wrist up really badly. So you're still taking your hand in the shortest distance possible between the 2 points where you want it. You're just going to end with the back edge of the blade instead of the front edge. Yep. Because you don't want to hurt yourself. I have a lot of friends who did this before we really learned the proper mechanics on how to throw those, and they've all had to have rotated pistol.
Is there any difference between left and right-handed?
Well, probably, but let's delay it as long as we can. Have the rotator go through.
Is there any difference between left and right-handed?
No, you will throw them exactly the same.
Okay,
You
so
take that thumb.
We're gonna start.
Right. Straight shot comes
here,
this way.
Everybody's gonna throw 10 at 25%. Okay. So, yeah.
You go with these guys, or you and I should.
I'll take.
Okay.
Yeah, you go for it.
Then we'll swap out. We want to make sure that they.
Actually, you know what? Here goes.
Yes. What do you want me to do? Okay. Yeah, we can walk. That's fine too. See, yeah. So you guys do the stuff, and then we can. Then he's right.
That's your command.
He's right. Thank you. I'm sorry.
No problem.
So you split it up. One go one way, one go one way.
You want a sublime? Help me?
Yes. Watching from behind tells me about you. It's not just because you have a nice ass. It's not the only reason.
I don't really have much
Is your back just kind of split into two?
Yep. A little cliff at the end, but that's about it.
Now loading. This is in full extension. So that's absolutely the right mechanics. And when you're throwing it right now, it comes in mostly like a straight shot because you're moving your arm on that exact angle. But if you bring your arm just a little bit out, right, instead of throwing it straight in here, I'm just going to throw it here, but then I'm going to let that tip whip around. That's when you get
When you
try
hit
that just
with
a little bit farther out.
the back edge, make sure your elbow is not hyperextended.
No hyperextension.
Always keep a slight bend in your elbow.
Your wrist should never be fully prone. It happens more often with like metal basketball. Guys pronate. It's the same reason a bunch of Major League Baseball players have to have their hamate bone removed now. It's the bone in your wrist. It's because this thing hits it.
Okay.
And you can get it torqued. Like you're out here and then somebody jacks your sword. You're not giving yourself any flexibility, right? Any shock absorption. So try that where you just, so instead of throwing, basically throw to your sword to here instead of here. Yeah, see how that goes? So with a little bit longer sword, but you're not trying to, a lot of people think, yeah, just like that. change where it lands by where that hand position is. Good, you got it.
That's it. It's practice. Not standing around.
So, looks like you're probably trying to push it a little bit. So, take it here where you're basically just going straight out. Yeah. Try to keep flat on the ground. Put your shield right here on your other side. And just kind of roll your hand over and get the shield with the back. You get a feel for that, how that goes.
We've already done the drill, so
that's what you're going for. That's the feeling you want. It's just going to end on his leg. So, that's better. You got better already. Nice.
everybody done it 20 times?
Yeah. Yep.
Switch partners.
Yeah.
That's good.
Switch up, guys. Switch up.
Great.
Switch around. Switch around.
Switch around.
There.
I'll grab it. You want?
All right.
Well, these two guys need to split up. Hold on, you still got him to split up. So these two need to split up.
Go over there, work with one of those guys.
So now we've thrown it from our shoulder. We're going to now go into our high guard, right? So from our high guard, when I'm throwing this leg wrap, I'm not coming from behind my head anymore. I'm now coming here and then popping it over.
My helmet kind of stopped.
Feeling it in your bicep? One of the things that you're trying to do right now is you're taking your hand and you're swinging your hand kind of in a circle. Take your hand, put your hand straight out where you want it to go, and then let the blade, it's going to want to roll that way and push your wrist. It's also less torque on your hand. We're getting some of that stuff too. The guys right there. It's fun. We like playing with those swords too. I like doing period stuff as well. The later manual stuff. Yeah.
Just actually, Nathaniel and I went to a leather school this morning. Oh, and got leather for making hopefully I'll be out doing
So if we're starting from high guard, right? We're here.
High guard is across the body.
Yeah. Kind of like so you can use this to lock your head. Yeah, exactly. So because it's more point forward because it's right here.
So it's from here down, then.
Yeah. So and you can throw it. Right now you're putting your hand basically right along the side of my leg. But if I threw my hand a little farther out, then when I roll in,
Okay,
right?
so it's not exactly straight.
It doesn't have to go straight.
Okay.
It can work straight, definitely. But you can go out a little more. I've got a shield over here. It can be really easy to just go that way. And you can take a step on it.
Like this.
Yeah, I landed like this.
And then they also become very effective. Well, as a lefty, it's going to be a shot that you want to become comfortable with, because against right-handers, it's a standard lefty shot because we start with both of our swords on the same side, right? So a straight shot becomes really easy to cut off like this, but a wrap makes you block a lot more, either of us, right? So since you fight righties more than I'm going to fight lefties, that's a shot you should work. Both the leg, right, and then you're going to throw the body, and then you're going to work this one.
Okay.
It's going to be good.
If you leave him, he doesn't have a partner.
Yeah, I was just making sure. Helgie's one around and
How far away?
So
keep your shield?
with a buckler, a lot of times, actually with most shields, I tend to start with it in close to my body until I'm ready to engage. Right? If I came in to engage you, I might punch out and change my angle. Right? But from here, a lot of times, it provides me. Also, you got to realize too, we don't strike below the knee. Right? So that makes it a little different. I don't have to have that cone quite as far out because my feet are vulnerable in this. So, right, so here, I can react to just about anywhere between my sword and my shield. With a buckler, I'll sword block a lot. Rotate over here. Same thing over here. And with a buckler, I usually, with heavies, because you really have to get out and intercept them, I just think about punching my hand into right above the hilt of their sword to block it, right? Because I don't want to try and block the tip and just go around, right? But if you go to throw a shot, I just stop it right there, right? I've interrupted you where you wanted to go, so that's great. And I've controlled the sword here, whereas if I try and block it here,
There is disengaging.
oh, absolutely. Everything you can think of that you know in rapier fighting is going to apply some way in heavy fighting, because fighting's fighting, right? This is all sword fighting, anywhere you look at it. You're going to have to apply the lessons slightly differently, right? You might not do quite so much point. You're not going to be as edge-on as you might necessarily be in rapier because you can't generate as much slashing power to get through armor, right? So you end up standing a little more square, so you can generate that hip torque. So yeah, your stance was good.
Well, that's because I started out rapier.
Maybe I should switch. You will find times.
It's even hard to do that way.
You will find times when rapier will work for me, right? So I will switch up and I'll fight this foot forward sometimes, right? Especially if I've got a thrust to my shoulder, right? You threaten with the thrust kick. You can also chop really fast right? But that all comes with practice and understanding body mechanics. It's much more of an advanced style. Sword hip back is definitely where you start, because that starts you immediately in that cocked position to learn the basic body mechanics for doing slashing. It's just like baseball. I use baseball as an analogy all the time because it's my sport. I like this. So, yeah. And then, if you were doing the same thing, try to do it into my armpit. Just see how far I would have to go over here. And then kind of block it. And if you take that little step like you talked about, right? Oh God, that's gonna hurt. There's something about fighting a lefty where you know you got to go all in, because the likelihood of getting hit in an unarmored area.
If you haven't thrown yet,
Right
has
now,
everybody thrown
because the angle of the
20
shot.
from that position?
Sometimes you're just like,
After I
gotta
work
hit him in the helmet faster. He's getting him in the arm.
I got my 10.
Especially when you're fighting someone.
All right. Switch partners again. Now we're going to go from the third position.
Swap it up.
Buddy. You and me, Nico?
All right. What's the third position?
Did he fix up your helmet?
Oh, yeah.
It's the 3 common styles of heavy fighting depending on where you are and what kingdom. That one's apparently very popular out east because you're able to just quick drop the shot into them.
And for me, it's
Okay. Third position, no. He's done.
Right? When I leave it open, right? Against you, I might want to be here.
So the first time we did it, the wrap from our shoulder.
He's demoing the third position.
Okay. Our hand came out and tried and rolled at the shoulder. Okay. Okay. We went from the high guard.
Guys, we're instructing. You're focused. I appreciate that.
From the front. Here. Same motion as here, but starting in the front of our face. So we come out and bring it around. This position is kind of halfway in between. Just like you were throwing your flat stand. Here. Now, all I'm going to do is now turn my hip over at my shoulder. Okay? Or if I'm going at the leg. Here, boom. 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 Okay? When I'm doing it from my shoulder, this first motion is just taking me to this position. Right? So this should be contiguous with this. The exact same motion, you're just shortening the distance a little tiny bit. Okay? Partner off, and we will we'll continue to walk. Right. Yeah, that is a school of throwing wraps.
Okay. I definitely prefer the all forward motion and just letting that tip come around. There was a school at one point that said you pulled your hip back to make it snap in. I think that's why a lot of my friends have had shoulder surgery. I don't think that's really good for your body.
Okay. All right.
From body mechanics.
Which one is that?
Where you pull back.
I'll come back here.
It's okay. I'm not going to show you because you don't want to do it. I'll just tell you if you're doing it wrong. That's all.
Okay. Because like it was like I mean, you were I'm doing it right. He's doing kind of like a big swing motion. And I was doing it. That was on the top down.
You still want to throw it. Right? It still comes out here like this. Right? Whereas if I was going to go for the leg with a snap, I would come in with my palm up. Right. Now I'm coming with my palm down and pointing with my thumb.
Yeah, you don't want to give that away either.
My hand was in the same spot.
That's why.
But I ended up hitting it in the leg.
Guy doesn't know
It's
if
like
you
I thought mine was
this,
active growth.
go like that.
Yeah. You move them back, and then you can end up changing the angle. Right? So instead of throwing, right now I'm going to throw here, right? Block that. Instead, I'm going to put my hand, instead of my hand here, I'm going to have my hand in here.
Yeah.
But it's the same motion. Right? I'm not swinging my arm wide in an arc. I'm still putting my arm out straight here, and I'm letting the tip. Right? And that's where you do the right body mechanics. Because when you try and control, you put all this momentum going out this way, and then you try and make it go this way, and that's how you end up shortening your shoulder and everything like that. So you just let the motion go out this way, and then let that sword fall over.
So I kind of came up with it first when I was doing this. I came up when I was left, he was doing right. So to block against that, against the side, what is the best?
So with bucklers, what you do when you're fighting is you change your stance. So I would take, my normal stance would be like this, right? What I usually do then is I take my sword side hip and I just kick it back.
Okay.
So I'm still pretty much same body mechanics, but I put my shield in a better position to intercept shots.
Gotcha. Okay. That was, yeah. Okay.
And a lot of times I'm not fighting.
All right, good. Does that ever happen where you'll go and then like flick up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's why I show that fast, because they get me up.
Get him, 2%.
It also will help you with shots like throwing.
Don't let your wrist go fully center. Keep that here. See my hands like this, and then just.
So it's also that taller. When I throw a wrap, I go and fall over.
You right now, you get here, and then you get down to
Please do.
With these as you land.
Alright. Then no, stand facing you. So you're in squared stance.
What's that?
Both of you in your squared stance.
Just for the sake of this motion.
I don't know what squared stance is.
It's basically a horse stance where you're parallel to each other. Okay? Now, from here, you are going to rotate on the balls of your feet so your center line is not pointed at me. Okay? This is your starting position. This is the orientation I want your hips at when you start the shot. Okay? Now, without moving your center line from here, turn your head to face your hands. Now, here's your orientation. Okay? Now, from here, rotate your hips forward. Boom. Much better. Good. Your elbow in a little bit tighter. Very good. Boom. Very good. Very good.
Right here when you throw it.
Hey, Leo.
You're turning it right about here.
Oh yeah, over there.
More about you want that short edge. Come behind. Yeah, on the back of the thumb. Skin wins, guys. Skin wins. Drop down.
You gonna be joining in the practice?
Yeah. So I think you are locking a little much to your shoulder, way too far forward. Just like you snap.
That's something I'm used to.
That was way
You gotta use your whole body. I'm used to this.
Way
I can hold this for a long time. But the moving up and down, different shoulder action completely.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I don't let it hit me either. It's not an uncommon problem when you're learning to try and make it do what you think it's supposed to do instead of what feels right. Go with what feels weird, it's probably wrong. Now you're oriented.
Okay, that's better.
There you go.
Alright, that's more.
And now from here, turn, let your hand just on the shoulder. There you go. Good.
Yeah, that's what you do.
The other way, block it.
Hit him in the head. He's like, once you did hit that, I'll just.
Yeah. And then hit him with it's great advice. It's the execution of the research.
Because
You're the other guy.
you're used to firing
shoulder ahead of your ground.